Hi, and welcome to Stamp with Jini. Today I'm going to show you this quick and easy spanner card that I created using the Thoughtful Wishes suite of products. So let me set this aside and I'll show you how to get started. Okay, I'm going to start with the piece of designer series paper and show you how I cut it. Now, the first thing I did with my 6x6 is I cut 4 inches down from the top. This is going to be a waist piece, so you can set that aside. I'm then going to slide this in on my trimmer, and I'm going to start on my left side here. I'm going to cut a 1-inch piece. And then I'm going to slide this over and cut a 2 3/4 inch piece. And then I'm going to cut another 1-inch piece. Now, how you cut this is up to you, but I wanted to have the scene of the trees like so. This piece is something that you can set to the side. Next, I'm going to bring in my cardstock base here. I've already scored it at the 4 1/4 inch mark. So I'm going to set this on my trimmer, and I'm going to cut at 1 1/4 inch mark, and I'm going to go all the way up to that trim score line, which is 4 1/4. And then I'm going to lift this up and I'm going to go over to the 4 1/4 inch line right here. Line that up. Close my trimmer. I should be at 4 1/4 since that's where I ended up, and then just slide to the top. And I've got my spanner panel cut. Now for the sentiment panel on the inside, I'm going to stamp first. I'm going to take my sentiment, ink it up in the back Blackberry Bliss, and stamp. When I've got that finished, I'm going to do my spanner sentiment here. I'm going to ink up the dearest friend, center it on this strip of Very Vanilla. There we go. I've got that done, so I'm ready to start assembling. Okay, for assembly, I'm going to start on the inside here. And I've got this coordinating piece of designer series paper that I've simply cut to the appropriate size, and of course my inside panel here. So I am going to start with that. Now, I don't have to adhere this down if I prefer to keep it inside the card for later, but I've already got the sentiment stamp that I want, and I'm ready to adhere that. So I've got that in place, and then I'm going to place the 2 pieces of designer series paper on either side. And this paper is simply lovely. It's got this beautiful watercolor look, and I think you're really going to enjoy creating with it. I'm going to set one down here on the side, like so, and I'm going to place the other on the left side. Let's see, I didn't judge very well on my spacing, but I can use my heat tool and I can adjust that slightly. At this point, I'm going to work on my spanner portion. So I am going to fold and score on the score line here. I'm going to burnish with my bone folder, and then I'm going to open this up, and I'm going to set the 2 pieces that I need to adhere to right or left. So I'm going to simply space my dearest friend, and I did this in the center, so I've got a little bit of wiggle room here to move it right or left. All I'm going to do is add a little bit of adhesive on either side, like so. And then once again, let's see, I'm going to place my designer series paper here so I know where I want to place this. And I think I'm going to place that about here along the center of the card. I'm going to make sure I've got that where I want it. There we go, and nice and straight. And then I'm going to bring in those 2 pieces of designer series paper here. Make sure I've got the right pieces in the right order, and I can open this up and adhere my center panel down. There we go. I'm going to close it, and I'm going to add the right and the left pieces. Now I did that sentiment first, as you can see, so that these pieces of designer series paper that I'm going to add here on the right and left will cover the end, which allows me to place things more evenly without having to worry about right or left when I'm stamping. Flip this over and adhere this down. There we go. And I've got this beautiful spanner card that allows it to stand and still show this full picture. I just love these spanner panel cards. They're a lot of fun to do. They're quick and easy, but they look really complicated. Last but not least, I'm going to bring in these beautiful adhesive back pearl trios. They come in 3 colors. I hope you can see them here. And I believe I am going to be using the top one here for this project, and I'm simply going to set one of these pearls on either side of my sentiment, just to add a little bit of shine and iridescent beauty to that. So there you go, a lovely spanner card created with the Thoughtful Wishes suite of products. I hope you've enjoyed this project, and of course, if you'd like any of these products, feel free to stop by my online store. You can get there from my blog, Stamp with Jini. Thanks for joining me.